they get scanned, who gets them. So there are a lot of issues to look at. Then you have software, because you want to retrieve your records, you need software. There are various types of software programs out there. Some software only work on the cloud. Some software that you could have the software reside on your premise. Some software uses OCR technology. Some software you could create forms with. So I recommend that whatever software you do, you get in touch with the vendor, make sure that you view the demos, definitely have demos, and use the demos with your documents to make sure it's exactly working the way you want it to. Then, of course, there's hardware. The hardware being, do you have to upgrade your servers? Do you need scanners? What size scanners? Are they desktop scanners? Do you have large size documents, whether they be engineering drawings or artwork? So you have to determine which hardware you're going to need. And then I recommend a pilot program. The reason I recommend the pilot program is because going paperless, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. What you want to do is you need to start with one or two small areas within a company. You work out the kinks with scanning before you go corporate wide. And one of the advantages is that if you start with one department, other managers will talk to the manager of that department that started the scanning and say, how's it working out for you? What advantages are you getting? What do I need to worry about? So it's a good thing to start a pilot program, and let's start from there. Then, of course, there's cloud versus on-premise storage of the software and the documents. If you use cloud storage, well, then the vendor of who's supplying the cloud, they're responsible for the hardware, the software, for any bugs, any fixes. So you pay them a monthly fee. Every month it's going to cost you. But if you're doing on-site premise storage, then you have to maintain the hardware yourself. You have to make sure your hardware is up to date. If there are any crashes, you're responsible, any bug fixes. So you have to determine which is the best way for your company to go, whether it be cloud or on-site premise storage. Then, of course, we have to look at the legality of the document. Some people are afraid that the documents won't be legal. In the United States, there are two laws that establish if digitally scanned documents are admissible in court. The first one is the Uniform Photographic Copies of Business and Public as Evidence Acts. It was enacted by almost all states. It specifies that reproductions of records have the same legal significance as the original and may be used in place of original for all purposes, including evidence. So in short, what does that mean? It means that copies of whether it be microfilm or other reproductions, documents are the same as physical documents and are just as legally valid. Then the second law is the Uniform Rules of Evidence. It was adopted by the United States federal courts and 34 states approved it. The rules of evidence allow a duplicate to be admissible in evidence to the same extent as the original and defines duplicates as a counterpart produced by any technique which accurately reproduces the original. It means that as long as your digital duplicates are the same as the original, with the proper process and procedures, you can utilize them in federal courts in the majority of state courts. Both state laws state that duplicate records may be admitted into evidence if they are accurately reproduced of the original. Document imaging technology is a duplication of technology similar to physical reproduction methods such as photocopies, microfilm, facsimile, or digitally stored documents fit within these regulations. I just want to note, we always recommend that you consult your corporate attorneys about going paperless before destroying any documents. So basically, you could should be able to use any digitized record in a court of law. So I just want to thank you for your time and just stay safe, stay strong. The COVID-19 chapter is almost at the end. Thank you for your time. Kevin?
Marty, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Let me take over the screen so we can continue our webinar recording. Great. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Marty. It was actually very informative and appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your insights. Well, nowadays, of course, we are all facing COVID-19. So because of that, remote work and accessing data, paper-based documents or documents actually, accessing them is more important than before. And it's a challenge for many companies. So by following insights of Marty as he shared with us, you can go paperless in a way that you can actually utilize your resources in a productive way. And then you'll be able to access your data, your documents remotely, and you can run your operations in a paperless environment. That's what is important right now, to go paperless, to be able to access data, documents remotely, and to be able to keep it secure. It is also very, very important. Also, as a reminder, we are keeping our contact information on the screen as our emails. So if you'd like to continue this conversation, if you'd like to ask questions or schedule a demo meeting with us, for example, you can send us an email and we'll be happy to continue our conversation with you. So what I like to do right now is I like to invite my colleague, Sam Watt, to our virtual stage. Sam will be demonstrating a brief, high-level eBA demonstration. As I mentioned earlier, eBA is an enterprise-level electronic business automation platform. It has workflow and document management capabilities. It's a very important tool. It's a very important tool and very practical for any company like to operate digitally, paperless, multi-location, and remotely. And this demonstration will be also very helpful for you to understand eBA's capabilities. And then after Sam's demonstration, we'll continue our conversation for going paperless. Sam, I'll stop sharing so you can take over the screen. Thank you. Great.
And
that's good.
Thank you, Kevin, and thank you, Marty, for your presentation. And this is Sam, the pre-sales software engineer of Bimser International, who based in New York. So today I will demonstrate eBA, our electronic business process automation platform. And eBA is a web-based system, meaning you can connect to our system through your web browser, like Google Chrome, Firefox, Microsoft Edge, and Safari, for example. Furthermore, it is a permission-based system, so not everyone can see everything in our system. You will see what you are supposed to do based on the role, position, profession, department, and group. This is the home screen after you log into eBA. And in the upcoming, you will see how eBA can help you to make your office to be more efficient, as we have the document management module in our system. So first of all, on the home screen, you can find your favorite document so that you don't have to remember the path of your document that you upload to the system. Furthermore, when you're using our system, you don't have to remember which drawer that you put your document physically. And actually, those will be managed in, those will be managed in our system. And then let's dive into the document management module of eBA. In this module, you can have your own folder structure based on your organization preference or actual operation. You can create different libraries based on the locations, departments, or document type. And once you have your library ready, and you can upload your documents to the system or create the subfolders in this library. And these are all the folders that I have. And let us get into my folder. And these are the documents that I upload in this folder. eBA supports different document type that you upload to the system. For example, your contracts, invoices, training materials, drawings, and so on in different formats. So you can open your document in the built-in browser of eBA, like your PDF file, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, image, and even the video and audio file. You can open and read your documents in the built-in browser of eBA. So it means you don't need any other software or application to read your documents. And instead, those will be shown in this viewer, and you can zoom in and zoom out to the content of your documents. On the top right, this is the version of this document. And if you have any update to your document and upload your latest document to the system, the version number will be incremented automatically. So it helps you to keep tracking all the updates of your documents. And with the permission, you can get back to the previous version of your document and see the changes between these two documents. If you don't have those permission, like getting back to the previous version, eBA will always show you the up-to-date version in this built-in browser. And if you notice, there are different control icons on the top. For example, you can delete your document, rename it, copying your document to another folder, moving it from one to another, and so on. Those are permission-based. Again, you can do what you are supposed to do based on the permissions that are granted to your account. You can manage the permissions under this security page, where you can limit the action, for example, downloading the document, some action like moving it, share as an external link, or share as an email. Furthermore, like deleting the document, those actions can be limited to the users and user groups. You can download your document with the permission. If you allowed it to, then you can download your document, send it as an email, so your document will be as an attachment. So you are more than welcome to send this to other recipients. For example, your supervisor or manager. If you want to share your document with a third party, meaning who is not in your company or your organization, you can set up an external link so that the third parties can click this link and connect to this document only. So what they will see is the content of this document that you are sharing, but they cannot see any items or modules of our system. And this is how eBA can also make sure your system is always insecure. At last, we come to the history page. In this history page, you can see all the action that the users carry out in your system, and also against this particular document. Your action type will be recorded with the username and also the date and time. So this is the audit trail that you can keep tracking the performance of the users. For example, there is a contract that the user has to review it every month. And you find that the last time this user read this document is 3 months ago, so that you can contact this user and see if he or she has any difficulties or any issue for connecting to the system and also reading this document. Therefore, you can make sure everyone in your organization are following the policies of your company. It's come to the end of my demonstration on a high level. Thank you for joining this webinar.
Sam, thank you very much for the demonstration. Let me take over the screen and we can continue our webinar session. Great. So as you saw during the show and tell, a demonstration of eBA from my colleague Sam, you can run your operations paperless in a paperless way, and you can manage your documents with the help of eBA. electronic business automation platform. eBA has workflow and document management module. So having said that, let me share some information with you, some more information with you about eBA platform. So we developed eBA in 1998, and when we actually developed it, our scope was digital transformation. What is digital transformation? Let's think about it a little bit. Digital transformation is adapting an organization's structure and it is culture to capture opportunities enabled by technology. So simply, you are using technology to benefit from the opportunities of technology. That's what it is. And you need to adapt your company's strategy and structure to this end. And there are benefits of adapting digital transformation in your organization, at your company, and at your institution, for example. You can be more competitive. You can be more productive. You can be more efficient. You can increase your customer satisfaction. You can increase your sales. You can increase your market share because you're going to utilize technology. And you can also be compliant to local, federal, state, maybe global regulations. Depends on your industry. Some industries are very well regulated, for example. There are strict regulations such as aerospace, defense, medical device, healthcare, pharmaceutical industries, for example. Those industries are heavily regulated, and compliance and documentation is critical for companies' operations and sustainability. When we look at eBA as our electronic business process automation platform, it's been in the market since 1998, so it's a mature system. That is why there are more than 500 reputable corporations and organizations are using eBA, and there are more than 1.5 million professional users on eBA. And at the moment, there are more than 50,000 business processes running on eBA on daily basis. These operations, these business processes may be as simple as expense management, maybe document management, maybe HR onboarding, offboarding, change management, and so on. Since eBA has a very modern technology, it is ready to integrate with many other systems. It can integrate your IoT devices, your manufacturing execution system, your ERP system, your CRM system. So the idea is to help you have an integrated management system in a digital environment with no need of paper. eBA has modules. Workflow module is one of them to help you automate your business processes with the help of the workflow engine of eBA. And as my colleague Sam demonstrated earlier, there is a document management module, help you manage your documents. These documents may be your PDF files, your Word files, your CAD files, your audio or video files, for example. You can manage them with the help of eBA's capabilities such as permissions, as well as advanced security features. In addition, there is a capture module and executive dashboard module. Let's look at these modules in a more detailed manner. Workflow module is designed to help you put together your business processes in a drag and drop environment. What we mean by drag and drop is you can design your business processes in a low-code, no-code environment. In any industry, any business process consists of two elements. One is the form, and second is the flow. We need to have a form to enter data. Let's say expense management. You need to enter your name, your last name, your department information, and all the expenses and expense types along with the amount in a form. And this form has to move from one department to another to make sure it's actually approved and it is ready to be reimbursed to yourself, as an example available on the screen right now. Workflow module has reminders, notifications, as well as escalations available. And you can see the audit trail as to who is doing what type of activities and where the business process is standing at this very moment. Some best practices, some examples of workflow based operations, for example, maybe vendor supplier approval, customer approval. You can digitize these processes. Typically, most of these processes running either via email or on pen and paper or spreadsheets, for example. So with the help of eBA, you can digitize all these business processes, change management, training, purchasing management, contract management, HR management, vendor supplier, as well as customer approval operations can be easily automated and digitized with the help of eBA's workflow module. The document management module, as my colleague Sam demonstrated earlier, is designed to help you manage all of documents that you have, regardless of the type of it. PDF files, Word files, drawings, music files, video files, and so on. So if you have videos for training purposes, you can use also document management module of eBA. Also, document management module has versioning capability, so you can generate multiple versions of a document that you may have as documents and business processes evolve in the time being. And with the help of document management module of eBA, you can centralize all of your documents. Instead of keeping documents on your personal computer, on eBA platform in a cloud or web-based environment that we provide, you can manage all your documents in a central repository that helps you create a corporate memory as well, while your company is evolving, growing, and improving. Capture module has an OCR technology, optical character recognition. It helps you scan or email documents, and then this capture module helps you capture the characters on any document. On the screen, as an example, we can, for example, talk about invoices that you receive from suppliers. Typically, invoices that you receive from suppliers are handled by hand, manually. So with the help of Capture module, you can automate this process. Capture can read supplier names, purchase order number of yours, and other details, for example. And it can do a three-way matching, as to matching this invoice to your purchase order as well as the purchase receipt of your records, for instance. So that is very with bar charts, pie charts, as well as drawings and also maps available. So that is designed to help you have a virtual and reporting environment. These dashboards are ideal for KPIs for managers to use, the status of activities, for instance. Great. So that actually was the brief introductions of eBA in a presentation format. So while we are also live on this session on YouTube, I'm also getting some questions from our attendees. So one of the questions, for example, is about going paperless. So this question is for you, Marty. So the question is, do you have any specific suggestions for manufacturers for us to go paperless?
Well, it depends on the documents you have. Again, you have to take a look at how you want it done. Whether you want to use a service bureau, if you want to scan your documents in-house, and you have to look at your software. Whether you could use some of the software that Kevin was talking about, whether it be QDMS or Beam, and or eBA, and see how it will fit into your environment.
Yes. Also, if you'd like to continue this conversation, please feel free to send email to Marty, so you can continue this conversation. Another question that we receive is about eBA. Is there any mobile application available for us to manage our documents and processes of eBA on eBA? Yes. So the answer is yes. So there is a native mobile application. With the help of this native mobile application, you can manage your business processes, expense management, HR onboarding, offboarding, training, purchase requests, and your documents as well. So that in addition to using eBA on a web browser, remote from wherever you are, from home, from office, and so on, for example, you can also use a native mobile application. The benefit of native mobile application is we use mobile phones so often nowadays, right? We go everywhere with our phone. So that basically makes it more practical, easier for you to use as for your documents as well as your business processes. there is another question about integration. So you mentioned that there are integrations available for ERP systems. What ERP systems do you integrate with eBA, or are you integrated with eBA? Okay, that's also a good question. I appreciate it. So, well, first of all, eBay is a standalone platform. It is designed to help you manage your business processes, automate them, digitize them, and manage your documents on this platform digitally, paperless work environment it creates. And as to ERP system integrations, we can, in essence, as a principle, we can actually integrate with any ERP system because we have web service APIs available in a technical sense. What it means is we have technical capabilities to talk to any ERP system, any modern ERP system. It's not a problem. At the moment, since we are also a partner of them, for example, we are integrated with SAP ERP systems, Microsoft ERP systems, as well as Sage, as well as Acumatica, MYOB, and we also had integration before with Oracle's ERP systems as well. So that basically makes things much easier for us to continue with our operations. Also, let's remember, there may be some other ERP systems in the future. So that basically also going to help you integrate with other ERP systems as well. Today, you may be using an A ERP system, and tomorrow you may be using a different ERP system. So eBA's API capabilities and modern architecture is basically designed to help you integrate with any ERP system today and tomorrow. So for now, we are already integrated with those ERP systems I just mentioned, and we can integrate with more and many other ERP systems if necessary. Looks like we have one more question. So you mentioned that eBA is modular. Do we have to get all the modules, or we can pick and choose the module that we like? Okay, so that's also a good question. So the beauty of the modular architecture of our platform eBA is you can pick and choose any module you like. You don't have to get 4 of them, for example. If your priority is to manage just your documents, for example, in the light of Marty's presentation, for instance, to go paperless, then you can just have a document management module of eBA. In addition to document management, if you like to also manage your business processes in a digital environment on eBA, for example, let's say HR onboarding, offboarding, let's say quality control, or training management, or let's say calibration management, or root cause analysis, or purchase request management, for example, or many other business processes, then you'll need a workflow module. If you like to automate your business processes, if you like to automate your accounts payable operations, accounts receivable automation, sales order operations, let's say you are receiving these orders or invoices via email, or you need to scan them because you receive them by mail, for example, then you're going to need a capture module to automate these business processes. If you like to have a virtual environment to manage your KPIs, to monitor your KPIs, dashboard module will be really helpful for you. So it depends on what you like to be doing. You can pick and choose any module you like. These modules of ours, as I mentioned, those 4 of them earlier, they are independent and interdependent, depends on what you like to be doing. So you have all this flexibility. Today, you can start with document management module. Tomorrow or later or in coming years, you can add workflow module. It is not a problem. So that option is always on the table. Okay, great. Looks like we addressed all the questions. That's great. So before I end the session, I'd like to invite you to our annual virtual conference and summit. It'll take place on March 16th and March 17th. So we like to invite you to register to our annual Synergize virtual conference. It is available on our Eventbrite page if you like to register. When you go to eventbrite.com, you can search for Bimser International and you'll have our page available for you to register. And at this event, during Synergize 2021 annual virtual conference, we'll be also introducing a Synergy content services platform. Synergy is next generation native cloud, low-code, no-code business process automation platform. Runs completely on cloud, and we'll be introducing this platform during the session at Synergize 2021 virtual annual conference. And also, some of you already watching us on YouTube channel, and those of you just watching the recording later on, we like to invite you to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe, please like our videos. We have very interesting and informative and insightful videos, I must say. So if you register our YouTube channel, if you subscribe, you'll be notified every single time there is a new video. Our YouTube channel is very active. We have close to 300 videos and more coming. So that we are confident you'll enjoy the benefits of our videos in the scope of digital transformation, manufacturing 4.0, automation, paperless office, as well as maintenance management techniques, strategies, and approaches as to predictive maintenance, preventive maintenance, and other digital and modern techniques. So please subscribe. As I mentioned earlier, Eventbrite page is designed to help you register for our coming executive webinar sessions, as well as our Synergize 2021 annual virtual conference, which is coming in March. Great. I'd like to thank you for your time and thank you for your interest. We are looking forward to seeing you at our coming